Last time on Final Fantasy 16, we reunited a master and pupil in Dion and Hippocrates. This time, let's see what Joshua needs us for.
Ah, Clive.
Where there's a will.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained.
Well, I suppose
And
that's
in
a
the process
useful.
of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Of course we're going to prioritize it. This is our next quest. Speak with Cyril in table. Honestly, considering there is another quest here, we might end up doing this one here too, instead of going back to the hideaway. But, first off,
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril,
and we
you
teleported,
found
we're
a letter
fine.
from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
You haven't opened it. I know that I asked much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms. And only with all Rosaria's striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, your grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim.
Rosaria was actually going to do it
Your
right.
father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
I mean, fair.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see
I actually
centuries
have a
of
bit
common
more
wisdom
respect for the
overturned.
man now.
Small
Rather than just
wonder
treating
he
them
did not
well,
think
he
it
wanted
achievable
to
in his
emancipate
lifetime.
them.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
Why did our mother
What
not
do you mean?
have Uncle Byron killed?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord.
Like, it seems like that would have
After
been a
all,
good thing for her to
The
do.
duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering his Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it. Or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril.
The
Shall we
archive?
then?
Where is the archive? I don't know that I've been to the archive. It's apparently just up here, okay. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've never been in here. First Order of Archaeologians, the Making and Wing, 53rd Monthly Report. Item 1. Further discoveries from our acolyte ensconced within the recently displaced mountain dwellers' remote settlement. The diminutive tribe's main village appears to be in receipt of regular deliveries of supplies from Hugo Kupka's Men of the Rock. On inquiring with the locals, it became apparent that they have the deepest respect for the one they call Lord Kupka, whether he has merely bought their loyalty or if there is some deeper connection between the tribe and Titan remains unclear. Lord Zero, acolyte stationed across Valstea, reported a curious change in the primeval structures we have come to refer as monoliths, following the fall of Drake's tail and the change in the skies. Allowing me to present the preliminary findings of our archaeologians' investigations into those monoliths most near at hand. Be able to visually confirm the activation of the structure in the northern reaches of the Velcroy, but a sandstorm forced our temporary retreat. We will make a second attempt when the wind drops. In Dracos Deep, our team was able to make direct contact with the monolith. However, no further change was observed upon touching its surface, nor upon dealing it several stout blows with both fist and blade. Whatever the purpose of its activation, it would appear to be other than that of the defensive echoes we've encountered among previous relics of the Fallen and their predecessors. We shall continue our investigation both of the monoliths proper and of any historical writings that might refer to them, and inform your lordship forthwith should they produce any discoveries of note. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart. So I'm guessing that there are 5 monoliths left, plus the ice one that we've already done. One of them is in Dracos Deep, and other in the northern reaches of the Velcroy. You'll have to keep that in mind.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you.
Are we meant to recognize you?
I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes.
We definitely knew
upon
this.
their coming of age.
Totally.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was
We're
your
gonna have to go
father's wish
complete them.
that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress.
Yep.
But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
Knew it.
What else?
We're going traveling and murdering.
Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see.
Oh,
We do at least
lovely.
know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
Of
certain
course it
specimen.
has.
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to
Whoop.
slay it in his stead, as men of
They're gonna kill
Hassel's
a very much
it
adult
would surely make your father
griffin.
proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Ah, down there. Okay. Let's go kill ourselves a griffin. Yeah, wyvern, wyvern, wyvern. Yeah, wyvern, wyvern, wyvern.
There it is.
For House Rossfield.
Oh, you're only level 40. You're a little baby. A little baby who still hits quite hard, to be fair. Damn it, what a waste of dancing blades. Haha! Parry this! Okay, never mind. I didn't restock after dealing with the behemoth thing. Oh boy. This is actually maybe worse than I was expecting as a result of that. Okay, deep freeze. There we go. Urban Fury. Mesmerize. Gungnir. Dancing Steel. There we go. Just enough time. I should be able to get sent to stricken off. There we go. Perfect. That did not deal nearly as much damage as I was hoping. I mean, it did, but it has a lot of HP. Okay. Well, now it gets interesting, because we need to actually survive on the little amount of healing we have. Parry this. Boom. 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 Hey! I assume that was for getting permafreeze a certain number of times. Yeah, we're not going to have enough for a good Zentetsuken this time, but that's okay. We'll still finish it off. Or we won't, because it can never finish it when I want it. There we go. Single hit to finish it off. Awesome.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
There we go. Back to town we go. I'm just gonna quickly restock on healing items. Hey, Salty. Sorry, no, I'm not
You
multi-streaming.
buying or selling?
You probably came in here quite a while ago and I
Fine
did
choice.
not notice, and that's something I
Anything
really need
else?
to work on. Twitch is my only streaming platform. Godfather, I'm back.
Thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
Yep,
And a Heartstone claimed.
no issue. Trust me, I would never lie.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord.
I assume it's
Grace.
customary to
Your
use
father would
a
be so
heartstone from a griffin
Lady
to know what it
Godotha.
looks like.
The lapidary is ready.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
otherwise, how did
I
our
will be
father
with
know
him
what that
shortly.
particular one looks like?
If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the
If you say
graven
so.
vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed.
Reminder that our father
His
did
Grace
not know
knew
about
the
Ifrit.
enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs.
He thought we were
This
just going to
was
be
more
Joshua's
than
shield
just a
for life.
message. It was a promise that he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Godotha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I
Really?
tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
Bloody hell, that woman
Thank
did
the
not
Founder
deserve
you
to
did.
survive like she
Yet my
did.
duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Godotha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
This was a happy ending for a change. I like that.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
They are not visible on us, it seems.
And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I take
I
it
think
they
we
actually create a
I
gravestone
was
for
hoping
him.
to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
That's going on the wall. That's definitely going to be the item for his room from this
Come on,
particular
Clive.
quest.
He's waiting.
I guess Duty Undying 2 is going to have to wait. What is the closest one? Probably this one. Okay. So it's going to be a nice long trek, so I will see you over there.
Let's go. Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Okay. How dare you knock me off my chocobo? Right. We'll walk from here.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
I mean, that's what having a shield was about, right? You were meant to be safe and protected.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying.
I
Because
did
that's
think
what
he was
he
a
would have
good man.
wanted.
I just didn't think he actually wanted the bears free.
What he would have done
I
himself,
thought he just wanted to make sure they were treated well.
even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
It's good to know I was wrong.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
The veil parts, if but briefly.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Quest complete. Where there's a will. I'm glad that they're not all completely sad quests at this point. That was a nice one. Joshua is joining Cloud's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Nice. Well, that's where we're going to wrap it up for now. Next time on Final Fantasy 16, we'll be back in the Hideaway, taking on the next side quest. See you then.